What kind of jobs can you live and work remotely? Um, I think that's too small of a question. I think it assumes that you need to work every month or every day, which is the assumption a lot of people are brought up with and kind of grow up into. I think when you travel, you start to see a lot of different variations on how to live life. So that's the first question I'd start with. What do you mean by what kind of work? So you could, for example, work 3 months in the States at a high-end restaurant or bar, make a bunch of cash, and travel the world for 9 months. I've met people that do that. You could work in a job and take 6 months off and then get another job. A lot of people do that. Of course, there's a lot of fears about getting reemployed. So that's one thing. You could structure your year or time. You could take 2 years off and then work really hard for 5 years and things like that. A lot of people do this that I've met. You just aren't going to meet them in a city working full time jobs. Types of jobs, mostly digital. Now, digital in person stuff can be photography, in person events like yoga, meditation, life coaching, career coaching. You can do all those in person. There's a lot of communities like Bali, Chiang Mai, Puerto Escondido, where I'm at, where there's a lot of other traveling people and they kind of need the help and support of each other. You can also do things like teach surfing classes. You can teach English in many places across the world. There's enormous interest in teaching English. Many of those things you can also then take online, right? And this is where you can get opportunities of scale. So you can teach English online. You can also teach English online through a course that you sell to many people and they do in a self paced way. So you can start to get some leverage doing different things. I think some of the main ways of operating online are kind of solo freelancing, where you sell your time, kind of broader scale, where you think about doing a practice where maybe you work with other freelancers or independent workers and deliver a higher value service or consulting offering. Um, you can also work remotely full time. You can work remotely part time. There's so many different iterations, and I think I meet people every day who are taking different paths. I think one that's pretty interesting is the FIRE movement. People are just stopping working full time and kind of living off savings. Whether you're for or against it, there are countries you can basically live pretty comfortably, probably on a few $100,000 if you had that saved up, right? If you're working in tech or finance for 15 years. What stops people from doing this is typically not the money. It's typically a fear of losing what they have, right? Belonging as part of a community and identity as like a successful person, or even the rewards they get from the work or the container like that. So, yeah, I mean, there's so many different kinds of work. They're emerging every day. Substack, Patreon, Stripe creates so many opportunities. Gumroad is a tool you can use to sell digital products and things like that. So, yeah, many different ways, many different models for how to set up your time in your life and increasing more and more every day.